Welcome back. um, it's been a minute since I posted my New Year's video. And if you go back a little bit further than that, before the New Year's, it's probably been a minute since I posted anything at all. It's like almost like I abandoned the channel. I did, in a sense. I never stopped thinking about it, never stopped like little fixes here, tweaking there, but I never actually posted any videos. And I didn't think I was ever going to be able to come back and make any, because interviews are not exactly easy to come by. Talking to strangers right now and everything like that, I figured it'd be easy to change up the format, and instead of talking to people, on the street or wherever, or different places, I figured, and I want to go back to it eventually. I'll figure out a way to get back to it, but I feel like it'd be easier if I changed the format and I just started talking straight to the people. And we just talk about any different type of topic. We could talk about politics. We could talk about breaking news. We could talk about celebrities. We could talk about video games. We could talk about life. We could talk about, I don't know, social commentary. We could talk just about anything. And in this video, I decided to choose to talk about the New York helicopter crash that happened not too long ago. I chose that one because I feel like we constantly shift through news every single day. We don't actually have a moment to really sit and digest what we went through or how we feel about any particular thing at all, because the next thing you know, we're our focus is on the next news story, right? It's something is going to take our focus away for what originally was we had our mind on. So I figured I'd take a moment. My channel will be about just taking a moment to digest and see how you feel about any particular topic. And hopefully, if my subscriber count grows, we can have fulfilling chats in the comment section. I'd love to hear feedback from all of you. And for the 14 subscribers that did not leave, I thank you. I don't know, is it because you forgot? I don't know if you hope that I come back and my interviews were engaging enough that you think, oh, maybe I'll see just in case. Thank you. And I hope to continue to grow with the channel and see what we can make out of this. So just to give a little recap on the incident, the New York Helicopter Company, famous company that gives tours around the city. They departed, one of their helicopters departed from their downtown helipad, past the Manhattan skyline, heading towards the Statue of Liberty. 18 minutes in, something goes terribly wrong. The tail falls off, the rotor falls off before it circles and slams into the Hudson River. 6 people lives were taken from that incident. There were no survivors. Now, you see in my hand, I have this book. This book is my notes, because I wrote a couple things down, and I don't want to forget the names, and I didn't want to get the names wrong. So just listing off the names in terms of the family that lost their lives. Excuse me. Augustine Escobar, 49. Mercy Kampruri, his wife, 39. And unfortunately, their children, Victor, who was 4, Augustine, who was 10, and Mercedes, who was 9, and was shy of turning 10 herself. Now, Augustine's brother, Joan, wrote on X that there's literally no words to describe what the family's gone through. And how can you blame them? What do you say when you see your family or someone that you love or you care about one day, and then they're gone in the instant, in the next, it's kind of, you don't know, unless you've lost someone close to you, you can't even really fathom the idea that the person that you're close with is no longer here and you're never gonna see them. The one thing I do I praise from them, the family is, despite the hard time they're going through, are choosing optimism and keeping their memories alive, right? They want to remember them for what they were and not what happened to them. I took a quote from the statement, and he had said, "They have departed together, leaving an indelible mark amongst relatives, friends, and acquaintances." And in a way, it's comforting. It's tragically comforting in the sense that if they're going to be gone and those are the moments that their final moments were together, it's almost eerily, resembles or reminds me of the 2020 crash with Kobe Bryant and Gianna and all the rest of the team and the family that was on the helicopter, and how the last moment is Kobe holding Gianna in their last moments. And it's sad. It's extra sad. It's always sad when something like this happens. It's even sadder when you realize kids are on board, kids who are never going to fulfill the life that they could have had. They don't get to live the extended life. Their time was cut short. Their story has ended. And life truly isn't fair. No kid should ever have to go through whatever they felt in those final moments. So, just it's one of those things that's hard to think about. There's also another that was on this helicopter, though. The pilot himself, Sean Keys Johnson, 36. Sean Keys' father, Lewis Johnson, said that Sean had moved to New York and started with the New York helicopter company as what he described as a new chapter in his life. Sean, a U.S. Navy veteran whose love of aviation pushed him forward to getting his license in 2023. He worked in his hometown of Chicago as a New York. He also worked as a Chicago helicopter tour pilot. He worked California fire rescue missions. He worked agricultural projects in Virginia. He's clocked in 800 hours of flight time. Fun-loving, jokester, but he knew his assignment and took things very seriously when it came to being a pilot. His friend, her name is Bobby Rose Smith, said that no matter where he was going, no matter what, he knew his craft, he knew his pilot, he knew his machine, his ride, his copter, inside and out. He was very big on safety. And I'm trying to reiterate very seriously in safety, because I saw something on Facebook that I should have took a screenshot of. And basically, I don't remember the exact title, but the title basically was trying to imply that Sean was basically responsible for the death of Augustin's family. And this is why, just to go on a side tangent, this is why we have to watch where we get our news from, because something like that could easily sway somebody into an opinion that's not even proven. For as of right now, as of recording, it's still under investigation. Nobody knows except for the copter pretty much fell apart. In this case, until things are found out and more information, Sean Keith Johnson is a victim just as much as the family that lost their lives. Just something I wanted to make that clear. As of right now, the New York Helicopter Company is not, obviously, it has ceased operations. And honestly, it was grounded by the FAA because somebody in the New York Helicopter Company voluntarily suspended flights. Obviously, with something as tragic as this happening, you're not going to wake up the next day and start having pilots start touring. No, you need an investigation. You need to understand what happened. You don't want to potentially bring out another helicopter if something like this happens. You need to understand. But apparently that person got fired. And with that, prompted the FAA to suspend them, and now are looking into their safety records. They're also being investigated by, the National Transportation Safety Board, which is launching an investigation because the helicopter wasn't fitted with any flight recorders or onboard cameras. So clearly there's something off when it came to this particular flight. And honestly, there probably will be more answers when information comes out about their safety records. Maybe there's something that hasn't been told that could possibly prevent this. Right now, while they're not, they have ceased operations. If you go to their website, you'll see a very nice condolence message to the family and Sean himself. Look, I hope they get answers. I hope they get answers for the family. I don't think, I can't speak for them, but I think it would bring them a little piece of knowing what happened, because the idea of something like this happening and you don't know, and then this, it'll bring them a little bit of closure. And while it won't bring them back, I think on the behalf of Augustin's family and the half of Sean Keith Johnson, there should be some type of compensation. And there should be another statement put out to say that they were wrong and they messed up. It needs to be loud. It needs to be proud. It needs to be aware that everybody knows, so that we continue to make awareness, and hopefully we get more safety checks, more regulations, because stuff like this shouldn't be happening. I'm not saying that things don't happen, but some things can be avoided, and maybe we need to start looking into these helicopters and planes too. Look, throughout this year, it seems like there's been a lot of plane crashes, a lot of helicopter crashes. There was near misses. There's been a lot of incidents that's been happening this year. And hopefully we can start to understand what's going on so that we can prevent these tragedies. Nobody should be losing their lives. Augustin's family came from Spain visiting him as he was on business with his company. And he decided to take them on this tour, not knowing that this would be the last thing they ever do. Sean Keith Johnson described this as his dream job, not knowing that this would be his final flight. I hope that in the future, later on this year, whatever, whenever, that we start looking to these things and we can avoid such tragedies so that people can enjoy flights. I don't think we should stop flights. I don't even think we should stop touring. But we need to make sure that people's safety is there first. The people getting on the plane and the pilot himself or herself or themselves, whatever you'd identify with. Everybody needs to be safe. And I hope that with this investigation, we can start figuring out ways to help prevent such things. That's all I want to say. I hope that I can have a video and it won't be as tragic, but these are things we could talk about. These are things that we need to talk about. Some things, sometimes the hardest thing to talk about is the most tragic things, but it's there. And usually when you discuss things, despite how bad it is, you tend to feel better. But until then, I'll see y'all on the next one. And I mean it this time. I will be back.